It's good to be here. It's good to be in one place. I know I've been a priest now for 21 years, and I've been in several different parishes, and I've had to come and go and watch other priests come and go and see how communities kind of have to deal with that. And I know it's an adjustment for all of you, but trust me, it's a big adjustment for us too. So first of all, I'd like to say I'm happy to be here. Secondly, please be patient with me and please pray for me as I get adjusted and find my way around. It's nice to be out east again. I started 21 years ago down the road at St. John the Evangelist in Center Moriches. And I had a wonderful time there, and I love this part of Long Island. It's very pretty out here, and so it's good to be here among you. But that brings me to our lessons for this week from our readings. Peter and Paul, Saints Peter and Paul, knew that it wasn't about them. Their work, their ministry wasn't about them. It was about bringing Christ to the people that they ministered to. So as much as we want to get to know each other, and we will as time goes on, and be patient, I'll learn your names. It's going to take me a while. You have one name to learn, and it's pretty short. So, 3 letters, you can pretty much remember Father Tom. But it's not about me. It's about Jesus. That's why we're all here. We're here for Jesus. That's why Peter and Paul went about their ministry and suffered the way that they did and went through all of the hardships and trials and hard work that they faced. But what do we learn from them? Jesus doesn't give up. He keeps inviting us to follow him, even when we fall short. And especially when we fall short, that's when we need Jesus the most, and that's when God comes to us. That's when we learn that it isn't just about us. It's not about what we can do, but it's about what God can do through us and how we can be open to God's presence in our life. Because when it becomes about us, that's when we fall flat. We have to rely on Jesus. Peter and Paul knew that, and that's why we remember them today. And Jesus constantly helped them. In our first reading about Peter, what do we learn? The angel of the Lord comes to him to lift him up, to help him as he struggles. And then St. Paul has that often used quote about running the race and keeping the faith. Who helped him run? Jesus, God's grace. That's how we do all things. We need to rely on Jesus. It's not about us. Peter's faith was the key, and Jesus was moved by that faith and that trust. And even though Peter repeatedly denied Jesus and fell short of where he wanted to be, what did Jesus do? Jesus gave him a big job. He gave him the keys to the kingdom. He made him the rock, the cornerstone of the church. And we still look at Peter as the first pope. We just had a pope elected not too long ago. I don't know about you, but I was shocked that they chose an American. I was happy, but I was totally amazed. But that is how God's grace works. It's not about us. It's about us trusting in God and allowing God to do his work. Peter knew that. That's how he was able to be that rock. That's where he found his calm in the face of the storm. Jesus gave him the keys to the kingdom because he wanted Peter to be able to help people to find God's kingdom, to build God's kingdom, to enter God's kingdom. And we still use the keys. Whenever you look at the Vatican flag, it's got the keys on it. This is where that comes from, this passage. The keys to the kingdom are given to Peter and his successors, and they help us find our way to God. One of the words we use that's associated with pope is the word pontiff. Pontiff is a bridge between God and man. He leads us to God. That's where we're all going. And I know that this is a special place to all of you. I've been hearing about Immaculate Conception for years. I grew up in Bayshore at St. Patrick's. And some of you have been around here a while, and you might recognize the name Emmett Fagan. Emmett Fagan was my pastor when I was growing up. I knew Emmett Fagan very well. I worked for him. When I was in college, I worked the front desk at the rectory. I spent a lot of time with him, learned many things, and he always talked very fondly about this place. And so I'm blessed to be here. And then, when it was time for me to be ordained, Emmett Fagan was one of the priests who vested me. So he's very special to me. I have a lot of good memories of him. I knew John Fagan a little bit. I met Sister Kathleen, but I knew Emmett the best out of all of them. And I pray that he's watching over us tonight and helping me as I begin this great responsibility of helping you to find Jesus in your life, helping us to experience Jesus together. As I was going through my boxes and unpacking, I found the holy card from his funeral, and I brought it up here with me at Mass, and so I have him here at the altar with me. And I pray that he gives me the strength and that he's praying for me now, that as I begin my time here with you, that I can help you to experience the Lord. May the Lord be in all of our hearts, and may we share the gift of God's love and grace together.